Welcome to Hooligans Underground. Welcome to Standing Room Only.
Hey!
Big crowd tonight. Everybody looking good, looking crammed in here, just like we like it. All right. I think we got a few people out in the audience that are going to tell us some jokes, make us laugh, make us smile. But first,
I see you, Nick.
you see me?
Yeah, I see you a little bit.
All right, y'all, over the last few days, my friend Boudreaux went missing.
Oh,
Couldn't
my
find him
God.
nowhere.
What the fuck happened to Boudreaux?
We don't, well, hold on, and we're going to tell you.
Okay.
See, Clotilde and Marie were talking. Now, Marie, that's Boudreaux's wife. Clotilde, that's Thibodeau's wife. So they were talking, and they were thinking they should go down to the sheriff's office and file a missing person report.
Oh, my
Now, when they
God.
got there, Deputy Guidry at the desk asked for a description of Mr. Boudreaux for the report.
Oh,
And
my
he
God.
said, well, he's 25 years old, 6'3". He weighed about 190 pounds. He's a very well-built and very handsome man, soft-spoken, and he treats me like a queen. Now, Clotilde, with a surprised look on her face, said, Marie, what the hell you talking about? Boudreaux like 50 years old, 5'4", 280 pounds, fat like a pig, and ugly as sin. Loud and obnoxious. He treats you like shit. Now Marie smiled. She said, yeah, but if they could find this one for me, Boudreaux can stay lost. All right. So that's one for me. Now, who wants to go first? Who wants to be up here?
Who wants to get up there in front?
I'm still laughing from last week when y'all were talking about Boudreaux, and Boudreaux.
Come on, I'm taking volunteers.
I'll go first if you want. I don't.
All right, come on up. Everybody give Randy a big old round of applause.
I don't mind. Thank you all very much. If I could bend over and take a bow with this mighty bulk that I have, I would, but I can't.
You look pretty large there, Randy.
Yeah. Well,
oh my God.
I reckon that comes from eating too much pork. I reckon. You know, if I put on too much of a drawl and talk too slow, you know, the show would just drag on for too long, and y'all, most of you being Yankees, y'all won't understand what I'm saying. So I'll just try to keep it simple. You know, y'all might be a redneck if the ASPCA raids your kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I'm having trouble here. I hate my mood swings, so they're great.
Talk to me, big boy.
You know, you might be a redneck if you own a homemade fur coat.
I might be guilty there, bro.
Yeah, you know what? I'm guilty of that.
And I'll tell you what, I know for a fact your name is Boudreaux if you got a rag for a gas cap.
They call that a do-rag.
Yeah.
Talk to us, bud.
And I know y'all redneck like me if you ever have used lard in bed.
Okay, wait for me.
Especially when it's
don't
hot.
stain very much.
No, you just throw the sheets out. You just throw them on the fire. They'll burn for a month. When you're done.
Oh my God.
All right. All right.
You know that you're a redneck if you have ever had to finance a tattoo.
No.
You had to finance that son of a gun now, you know. And you are definitely a redneck if you prefer car keys to Q-tips. And you are a redneck if you have an Elvis Jello mold. Yep. And You definitely are a redneck if you ever have gotten too drunk to fish.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh my
That's
God.
that's just a damn shame right there. And
Man.
you know you're a redneck if you've ever stolen toilet paper. Oh, I know I'm a redneck.
Oh my
God.
God.
Oh Lord.
That's what the
We used to
leaves
go
are out
on
there
runs
for.
for toilet paper, napkins, and soap and shit. Now they lock all that shit down.
fishing is a religion.
Yeah, buddy.
You know you're a redneck if fewer than half of your automobiles actually run.
I got a lot of those neighbors.
You know you're a
Yeah,
redneck if
buddy.
your brother-in-law is your uncle.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're the lead.
And if every electrical outlet in your house is a fire hazard. And if birds are attracted to nest in your beard. Which I
my
know
God.
I got a problem with that. And you definitely are a dyed-in-the-wool redneck if you pick your teeth from a catalog.
Oh.
You get it?
Yeah.
Catalog.
Seriously,
Catalog.
Honey, do you think I'm fat? Well, let's put it this way, baby. You're the greatest.
They're plump.
oh,
Okay.
They're very plump.
You know, my boss said I should go home because I really didn't look good. And I don't know if I should be happy to get the extra rest or just get offended about it.
I take the rest myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
I met an
Tell me
amazing.
twice.
Yeah, anytime I
right.
get a chance to lay down, I do. But I have to find me a piece of furniture or a piece of rocky ground that'll support my bulk. I met an amazing man at a party on Saturday. A wonderful listener, great looking. I gave him my number and he winked, and I winked at him to call me when he gets home. It's been 4 days. I'm really starting to worry the poor guy is homeless.
he's walking.
All right, all of us, we all have problems in life, and I bookmarked
we
this
do.
part of my book here because that's what you do with a bookmark. And if life didn't give us no problems, we probably wouldn't need no humor, would we? Well, that would kind of be a tragedy.
Yeah, baby.
And so one day, two really contented cows were grazing in the field when they looked up and they saw a shiny, handsome milk truck drive out of the dairy lane. And on the truck was painted fresh milk, pasteurized, homogenized, irradiated, and vitamin D added. One cow said, "Did you see that truck?" "Yeah," mooed the other. "Makes you feel pretty inadequate, don't it?" That's from
That's fucked up.
a cow's from, you know. And I used to work on a dairy farm when I was a youngin', and I used to milk cows by hand, and
You know what that thing
I
is?
would drink raw milk right from I had a little tin cup on a string. Yep, and every cow tasted different. Every single cow tasted different. Some of them would eat grass out in the field, and some of them,
More sweeter than those.
yes sirree, Bob. Yes sirree, Bob.
How about, baby?
When I was in Europe working on my grandfather's farm, that's all we drank was fresh milk straight from the cow.
Warm milk,
Yeah.
right, Fiddler?
Yeah, warm.
Yeah, you betcha.
You let it sit in the fridge for 2 days, and you can skim
Damn
all
right.
the cream right off the top.
Yeah, oh God, I used to eat. I used to put my tongue in the top of that bottle. I'd pull off that wax cap, and you ever have the chocolate milk they make like that with the cream on top? Oh my God, that's better than any dessert any chef could make. Well, anyway, I'm getting aside of myself here, talking about working on a dairy farm. That was every minute of it. Let's see here. A man came into the office one morning looking very depressed. His colleagues asked him what the trouble was. I'm suffering from a sexually transmitted disease. Well, there was embarrassed silence until somebody dared ask what it actually was. And he says, it's called getting married and having kids. A man came home from work and sank down into a comfortable chair and groaned to his wife, "Oh, I wish I was dead." Or at least a reasonably accurate facsimile thereof. You didn't think I had it in me to speak like an educated gentleman, did you? Yes, I do.
Oh my God.
I'm still waiting.
That
Sorry.
was funnier than the
Oh, you're waiting for the Irishman, are you now? Okay, sometimes children, quite unconsciously, can give us wonderful advice. The following happened to a friend, and I overheard it. He was painting his long picket fence in front of his house, and he was being watched by a small neighbor. Her name was Carol. And this fella had been painting for hours, it seemed, and he still wasn't even half finished. And he sighed, "Oh, Carol, I'm so discouraged. I've been painting for so long, and look how far I have to go yet." "Oh, I don't see why you're so discouraged," Carol replied. "You only have to paint one picket at a time."
one at a time.
You know, I reckon that's not so funny as it is true. And you know, if you got a job like that and you look at it in that, point of view, it'll get you through anything. That kind of, children say the dangest things. Remember them shows on TV, Candy Camera, and what was the other one with the kids? What was the one with the kids? Kids say the darndest things or something?
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah,
it.
something like that.
Yeah,
Great
yep,
show.
that was it. That was
Why-
a great show.
Wivey would be the expert on that, being a teacher. And I reckon that she has heard and seen and just experienced it all. But, children, when they're young, they come out with sometimes the best answer of all. Yeah,
Something you'd never think of. But they-
because it's too
Yeah.
simple. Right, exactly. It's just too damn simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Whitney woke up in the middle of the night and cried until his mother came in to see what was the matter. "I have to make pee-pee," wailed the little boy. "All right," said his mother. "I'll take you to the bathroom." "No," insisted Whitney. "I want Grandma." "Well, don't be silly. I can do the same thing as Grandma," said his mother firmly. Her hands shake. This is a truly tasteless joke book. All right. All right, I got one more. And let's see here. Grandpa was sitting on the front porch talking to his teenage grandson about growing old. "Why, Teddy," he wheezed, "I remember going courting in the old buggy, and on the way home, I'd have to put my dong under a spoke in that buggy wheel to keep from peeing in my face. Imagine that." "Yeah, go on, Grandpa," urged Teddy. "Well, at 75, things are a bit different. Now I have to rest it on one of the spokes to keep from peeing on my feet." And that's it, folks. That's it. You wanted two more? I'll give you two more. And
All right, big hand for Randy.
appreciate it very much.
Hey,
I
Randy.
appreciate it very much that you
Woo.
put up with me
Welcome,
and
Austin.
We love you,
hope I made
Randy.
you chuckle. Thank you so much.
Way to go,
Thank you so
Randy.
much. Much obliged.
All
Much
right,
obliged.
Randy. Thank you, Randy. All right, guys. I got one more. This is about Thibodeau. Now, Thibodeau happened to walk by a novelty shop down in New Orleans the other day, and he decided to go in and see what they had. Now, after looking around for a little while, he found some X-ray glasses. Clerk told him that with these, he would be able to see through anything, including people's clothes. Now, this sounded too good to be true to Thibodeau, so he bought a pair. He left the store with his new glasses, and as he walked down the street, he put them on, and sure enough, everybody he passed looked like they was naked. So he took them off, and they were dressed. He put them on, and they was naked. He rushed home to show the glasses to Clotilde, and as he walked into the house, he heard some strange noises coming from the bedroom. So he walked in to check it out, and he saw Clotilde and Boudreaux lying on the bed, naked. Now he took the glasses off, but they were still naked.
They're still naked.
Told Clotilde, said, "Yo, girl, I'm gonna bring these novelty glasses back to the shop and get my money back. $50, and they done broke already." All right, everybody, let's welcome Endora to the stage.
Oh,
Hey, Endora.
Endora! Yeah!
Hey, is there a
Talk
doctor
here,
in
baby.
the house?
Talk, baby.
How's everybody tonight?
Oh, I'm
We good,
doing
Doc.
good, baby.
Good.
Happy.
Thank you.
It's all good now. We got somebody up there that knows what they're doing.
Well, I
And
don't
I
know
don't
about
mean
that.
no offense, Nick.
So as you know, all you know, medicine. You know you can't trust doctors because I know I is one. Anyways, we're gonna pick on the nurses at night. We all know we can't live without them. We know we can't live with them.
That's very true.
Very true. But here we go. I had a nurse, and I said, "Please, you know, I need to use your pen. I forgot mine or whatever. I lost mine." And she went and looked at her pockets, and she pulled out a thermometer, and she goes, "Dr. McAndrews, what? Some patient has my pen up his ass." Well,
As soon as you said it, I was like, oh no.
oh no. Of course, she wasn't nice about it. She said some asshole has some asshole patient. But anyways, but that's just
Some asshole has my pen.
Well, she wasn't lying.
so. See this other patient who's in a nursing home, and one day he appeared very sad and depressed, and one of our nurses walked up and asked him if there's anything wrong, and he said, "Yes, Nurse Jane. My private parts died yesterday, and I'm very sad." Knowing her patients, some of them that come in from the nursing home, we're a little forgetful and sometimes a little crazy. She replied, "Oh, I'm sorry. Please accept my condolences." She's figuring her little private part was a pet or something, you know. Following day, Mr. Wallace, we had to admit into the hospital. Very sad. Was walking down the hall with his private part hanging out of his pajamas. And Nurse Allison says, "Mr. Wallace," she said, "you know, not really good policy to you be walking down the hall like that." And she's trying to be not to stare. And she's, "Please, you know, cover your pajamas back up." And she said, but Nurse Allison, I told Nurse Jane yesterday that my private part died." And Miss Allison says, "Well, you didn't tell me that. Why is it hanging out of your pajamas?" Well, he replied, "Today is the viewing."
Wait.
Oh, that's funny.
Ah, that's great.
Oh, God.
So, in the emergency department, you get all sorts of people coming in for various reasons. One, because they just don't feel like going to the regular doctor. They'd rather come 6 hours, sit 6 hours in a waiting room.
Oh, God.
And Doesn't matter. They come in, so you have a slight headache? Yeah. And you went to the ER? Yeah. And you expected to be attended to immediately? Yeah. Well, I like to live dangerously too.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go to the doctor's office and get exposed to everything.
Well, no.
No, we're not going to go. We're not going COVID here. COVID's not allowed.
Thank you.
We're
Thank
not
you.
going COVID. No political stuff. We're just not going COVID. COVID is black.
Political.
Well, I'm just
Also
saying.
COVID is 100% political. Period.
So
You said it all.
Let's go to a doctor's office with little children with runny noses and
Let's
coughing.
talk about appendicitis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Herd immunity. Herd immunity.
Appendicitis.
Hippopotamus.
Appendicitis. I reckon I don't know.
So,
how to say it.
you realize that
Hippopotamus.
a nurse, an emergency department nurse, is the first person you see after you say, "Hold my beer."
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Or the ambulance, man.
Damn, that's a
With
story
that-
right
And
yonder.
with that, we tell you, we can't
Oh,
fix stupid, but we can sedate it.
That's true.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
We can sedate it.
I love sedation.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what? And then there's the other person that walks into the emergency room and says to us, "I've been stung by a wasp. Have you anything for it?" We ask this really stupid question because we do that. We say, "Whereabouts is it?" And a patient will tell you, "I don't know. It could be miles away by now."
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
So a nurse sees a guy wheel himself frantically down a hall in a hospital. She stops him and says, "Oh, what's wrong? What's going on?" Because that's what they do. And he says, "I'm due to have an operation, but I heard the nurse say it's a very simple operation. Don't worry. I'm sure it will be all right." So the other nurse says, "Well, that's okay. Just trying to comfort you. So what's so frightening about that?" The guy looks at her, just about in tears, and says, "She was talking to the doctor."
Oh.
Yeah.
What you see when what's really going on when a nurse is smiling when things go wrong is it's probably because she's heading off duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? And then you have there's these differences between graduate nurses and experienced nurses. So a graduate nurse throws up when a patient does. An experienced nurse calls housekeeping when the patient does. A graduate nurse wears so many pins on their name badge you can't even read it, and an experienced nurse won't wear a name badge for liability reasons.
Yeah.
Wasn't me.
Been there, done that.
A graduate nurse charts too much. An experienced nurse doesn't chart enough. That's a no-no. Oh, in a
It's an
graduate
inside
nurse,
joke.
they love to run codes. And an experienced nurse makes the graduate nurse run to codes. Oh, it's a code? Oh, you take it.
Hell yeah.
A graduate nurse wants everyone to know they are a nurse. An experienced nurse doesn't want anyone to know they are a nurse. And a graduate nurse keeps detailed notes on a pad, and an experienced nurse writes on the back of their hand scraps of papers and napkins and loses their pen up somebody's butt. Graduate nurse will spend.
With the thermometer.
Yeah, that's true. Graduate nurse will spend all day trying to reorient a patient. An experienced nurse will chart the patient as disoriented and restrain them. Yeah, you're done.
Yep.
A graduate
You know what?
nurse
It sounds
can
like a
hear.
repair shop.
Graduate nurse can hear the beeping of an IMED at 50 yards. An experienced nurse can't hear any alarms at any distance. And a graduate nurse loves to hear an abnormal heart and breath sounds. Now, to that effect, going back to that, you get so used to those sounds that you just literally, it takes you a second to process them. I swear to God, that's normal. And it's not intentional. It's just, that's how it works. An experienced nurse doesn't want to know about them unless the patient's symptomatic. So, and I think we botched that joke a little bit. A graduate nurse spends 2 hours giving a patient a bath, and an experienced nurse lets the CNA give the patient a bath.
I love these jokes. These are all inside jokes.
A graduate nurse thinks people respect nurses. An experienced nurse knows everybody blames everything on the experienced nurse.
Yeah.
A graduate nurse looks for a blood on a bandage, hoping that they'll get to change it. An experienced nurse knows a little bit of blood never hurt anybody.
Can't live without it.
You know what? These are funny. They're inside jokes, but they're
really true.
Yes,
damn
they are.
straight. Yeah. Yeah.
Got a good one for you. Nurse says, when I get my vaccinations, the young nurse told me, she was very nervous as it was her first time. We told her to give it her best shot.
Oh my goodness.
What transplant nurses hate? Rejection.
Oh.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Here's one for you. I know that was kind of cool. That was kind of cold. Did you hear about the nurse who died and went to hell? It took her 2 weeks to realize she wasn't at work anymore.
Oh my God.
Oh, not true.
Best joke of the night right there.
That was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Yeah.
So, young child comes into the ED and he has swallowed a few quarters. And so, stupid Dr. Me goes up and says, how did the child swallow a few quarters? How's he doing? Well, nurse looks up at you without missing a beat, goes, well, no change.
Oh no.
Oh.
Some of these are actually making me laugh, so I kind of have to hold my breath so I won't start cracking up.
You're doing great.
So, a policeman comes in. He was rushed into the ED with an inflamed appendix. And the doctors that operated advised him that all went well. All was well. However, the patrolman kept feeling something pull at the hairs of his chest. Worried that it might be a second surgery the doctors hadn't told him about, he finally got enough energy to pull up his hospital gown. Enough so he could look at what was making him so uncomfortable. Taped firmly across his chest were 3 wide pieces of tape, the kind that doesn't come off, that plastic stuff. Come on. Written in large black letters was a sentence, "Get well quick from the nurse you gave a ticket to last week." Oh, God. So this family brings their elderly mother to the nursing home. And the nurses bathe her and set her in a chair at a window. Now, keep in mind, my mother was in a nursing home, so I can tell these jokes with a straight face now. And bathe her and set her in her chair by a window. And after a while, she slowly starts to lean over sideways in her chair. And 2 attentive nurses come over immediately and straighten her up and get her, comfortable again. And again, she starts to tilt to the other side, and the nurses rush back and put her upright. This all goes on all morning. Well, you know what? Later, the family arrives and asks, "Are they treating you all right?" "It's pretty nice," the old woman said, "but you know what? Except they won't let you fart."
That's too funny.
Oh yeah, there's a million of them. What do you call a hospital runs out of maternity nurses? A midwife crisis.
Oh,
Whoa.
Oh, that's good.
Love
All right,
babies.
we'll wrap this up one more and then we'll call it a night. Anyways, so skilled nurse had died. Sorry about that. And arrived to St. Peter to explain. We have this little policy of allowing you to choose whether you want to spend eternity in heaven or hell. How do you know which to choose? Well, that's easy, said Peter. You have to spend a day in each place before you make a decision. Okay. Yep. Well, with that, he put the nurse on the elevator, sent her down to hell. The elevator doors opened up, and the nurse found herself in a sunny garden where many of her former friends and colleagues warmly greeted her. You know, this one, many being. They had a great time laughing, talking about all the old times. That night she had a super excellent, fantastic restaurant. She even met the devil, who turned out to be a pretty nice guy. But before she knew it, her day in hell was over, and she returned to heaven. Now, the day in heaven was okay. She lounged around the clouds and sang and played a harp, and at the end of the day, St. Peter came to her and asked for her decision. Well, she said, heaven's great and all, the nurse said, but I had a better time in hell. I know that sounds strange, but I choose hell. With that, she got on the elevator and went back down. So, and wait for it. When she opened a door, she saw this desolate wasteland covered in garbage and filth, and friends dressed in rags and picking up garbage and putting it in sacks. Hey, sounds like SL. When the devil walked over, she said to him, I don't understand. Yesterday, this place was beautiful. We had a delicious meal. We had a wonderful time laughing and talking. What the hell? You know? What the heck? The devil smiled and said, yesterday, we were recruiting you. Today, you are staff.
Oh my stars.
Why do nurses bring red magic markers into work?
Oh, why?
In case they have to draw blood.
Ah.
On that note, great audience. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yay!
All right, big hand for Endora. Doc E. Endora. Thank you, Endora.
Loved it. Loved it.
You know, we love the medical comedy because it's never funny when we're at the hospital. But now, when we go there, we can think about your jokes and giggle a little bit.
We see the other
That's the
side.
truth.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's the truth. God damn, that's the truth.
because everybody knows we ain't never in a good mood when we go see the doctor.
Don, I got some really sick, so really kind of funny but sick stories, but they're not jokes. They're just
This
they're
is
just
leading up
stories.
to Boudreaux having some kind of trouble with the doctor.
And a lot of what you said is true. I've worked in hospital before, so I've seen it. I've heard it all.
I've been in the hospital in the last month, and it was not fun, believe me.
Nope.
All right,
Yeah,
here we go,
but-
Can't be all
folks.
healthy
Actually,
all the
you have a
time.
better time.
Yes, we can.
I got another little story about a
Now, if we
Boudreaux.
eat the golden apples.
I like talking about Boudreaux.
I know.
Now,
you do.
Boudreaux was
Here
driving
we go.
down the road the other day with his wife, Marie, and his mother in the back seat.
Well.
Every couple hundred yards or so, the two women would take turns telling him something about his driving. Like, you know, slow down, or watch the other cars, or don't drive so close to the line, or look out for that curve, and don't hit the dog, and et
200
cetera, et
yards.
cetera, et cetera. After a while, it started to wear down on Boudreaux. He slammed on the brakes, pulled off to the side of the road, turned to Marie, and he said, look here, who driving this car? You or your mama? Crickets. Okay, not a good one. All right, everybody, let's welcome
I
Fiddlah to the
didn't get
stage.
that one.
Yay.
It ain't
Come on,
him,
Fiddler.
that's what they asked
I
for.
got it. I got it. I got
I
it.
get
Okay.
it now. It just took it went up right over my head.
Oh, well, you know, mother-in-law. Fiddler, you coming up here?
Yeah.
I'll go.
All right,
Yep,
get up there.
yep, yep. I'm going up.
All right, Fiddler's coming up. All right, everybody, let's welcome Fiddler. Yay.
And a
Hey,
fiddler.
Fiddlah!
Hey everyone, you're all looking great, and tonight's been a fun night, I gotta say. You know, there's been a lot of good shows told here. So, as you know, I'm a one-liner type of guy, and I'm just gonna go through a few for you, okay?
All righty.
Okay.
Right. Well, for
I got my
instance,
pie ready if you stink. I'm gonna throw a pie at you if you stink.
yeah, well, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll
I'm
eat it.
kidding.
I always take life with a grain of salt. Plus a slice of lemon and a shot of tequila.
Nice.
That's way for salt.
Bye.
Right. You know the difference between beer nuts and deer nuts?
Oh,
Beer nuts cost $1.99, where deer nuts are under the buck.
under a buck.
Only a buck.
Under the
If an alligator lives in a river and thinks he's a crocodile, there's a good chance he's in denial.
In denial.
Mhm.
Got it.
Oh,
You know-
that's clever.
Life's like a bird. It's pretty cute until it poops on your head.
Yeah, dude.
I have a lot of growing up to do. I realized that the other day when I was inside my fort.
That's good.
Oh my God, that's so true.
Got a mental
Clear
image of
conscience
Bart
is usually the
Street
sign of a bad memory. Don't you forget it.
Don't you forget.
My therapist says I have a preoccupation with vengeance. Well, you know what? We'll just see about that.
Oh.
I like this one. This is one of my favorite sayings. Build a man a fire and he'll stay warm for a day. Set a man on fire and he'll be warm for the rest of his life.
Oh, that's good.
What's the difference between a northern fairy tale and a southern fairy tale? A northern fairy tale begins once upon a time. A southern fairy tale begins, y'all ain't gonna believe this shit.
Oh.
I'm feeling pretty proud of myself these days, you know. A puzzle I bought a few weeks ago said 3 to 5 years, but I finished it in 18 months.
Damn.
18 months.
Oh,
It makes sense if you listen to it. If love is blind, why is lingerie so popular? I mean, does that make sense? I don't understand that. I have a really close friend. Keeps on trying to convince me he's a compulsive liar. I don't believe him for an instant.
Some bitch lies too much, huh?
That must be Boudreaux.
No.
Boudreaux don't lie.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, right.
You know what? I'm on a I'm on a whiskey diet. I've lost 3 days already.
Oh, these are good.
As I get older and I remember all the people I've lost along the way, I think to myself, maybe my career as a tour guide wasn't a good choice.
Oh. Oh.
Oh God, that's awesome.
That's too funny.
The person who invented autocorrect should burn in hello.
Burn it, hello.
Hello.
Oh.
I had a great joke just now about amnesia, but I just forgot it. I looked at my family tree and found out I was a damn sap.
Oh.
Yeah.
I say no to alcohol. Ray just doesn't fucking listen. My poor knowledge of Greek mythology has always been my Achilles elbow.
Oh.
Achilles elbow, oh my God.
Today, a man knocked on my door. This is true. This morning, 9 a.m. And asked for a small donation towards a local swimming pool. I gave him a glass of water. Whoever said technology would replace all paper obviously hasn't tried wiping their ass with an iPad.
Oh.
I couldn't hear that.
My drug test came back negative. My fucking dealer has some explaining to do. I'm telling you.
I heard that.
I tried to change my password to penis, but they said it was way too short. I'm sorry. What do you call an Italian hooker?
Sophia.
A pasta tooth.
Oh my stars.
Pasta tooth. Nice.
How does a woman scare a gynecologist?
Don't shave.
By becoming an awesome ventriloquist.
Oh.
God, can you imagine that? Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh.
You know, this is good. The couple next door recently made a sex tape. They just don't know it yet.
Oh man, that was one of mine.
That's the spirit. Oh, yeah. Those night vision goggles. They got them.
My grief counselor died last week. She was so good. I don't even give a shit.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, man. Where are you finding this stuff?
What is the difference between and ah?
And
About 3 inches.
Oh. Oh.
Ooh.
All right, this is a good one. Let's see if you get this one. If a woman sleeps with 10 men, she's a slut. But if a man does, he's gay. Definitely gay.
Oh.
Get it.
All right.
I had one right on my head.
I don't know if you got that one.
I lost that one. It went right over.
Yeah, we got that.
Missed it. It's all right. I don't care.
All right. A man is being arrested by a female officer who informs him, anything you say can and will be held against you. The man replies, boobies. They say that during sex you burn off as many calories as running 8 miles. Who the hell runs 8 miles in 30 seconds? I don't know.
30 seconds.
That's That's all I gotta say tonight. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
All right, Fiddler. Everybody,
Go,
let's
Fiddlah.
big applause for Fiddler.
That was
Thank
awesome,
you.
Fiddlah.
All right, tonight we got a special guest tonight. Wild K is going to honor us by getting up on stage
Oh
and,
no,
and,
don't
and,
talk me
and
up
giving
too
us a
much.
few.
Oh,
So,
well,
to
come on,
everybody,
girl.
give a big wild welcome to Wild One, Wild K.
Hey, Wild K.
Hey,
Don't expect much. Don't expect much at all.
at least 6 minutes.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time.
We
Take your
love
time,
you.
Do a
girl.
couple
You'll
of
do
times to squeeze
fine.
in 6
Take
minutes.
your time, hon. We'll listen.
Take your time. Say, give us time to laugh in betwixt the jokes, and you'll do just fine. Lord have mercy.
I made me a sign so people know who I am.
Yay.
Because I'm gonna tell blonde jokes, so you can tell I'm blonde. Can everybody hear me? Okay.
Mic check is good. 1, 2,
Yes,
3.
yes,
mic
we
Okay.
can.
check is good.
All right, cool. So, why don't blondes call 911 when they're in an emergency?
why?
Because they can't find the number 11 on their phone.
That's good.
Why do we blondes wear panties?
I don't know.
Because I'm trying to keep my ankles warm.
Oh.
Okay, these are stupid. I know. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Never
No,
apologize.
they're
They're
funny.
funny.
Apologize.
What's the occupation of a brunette that's between two blondes? An interpreter.
And
I never heard that one. That's a good one.
Oh, we did that one. Let's see. Why was the blonde running in circles in her bedroom? Because she decided to catch up on her sleep. Why do blonde people tiptoe when they go past the medicine cabinet? Because they don't want to wake up the sleeping pills.
Oh, gee.
Here's a tech joke. What do you call a blonde who dyed her hair brown? Artificial intelligence. Yeah, somebody.
I didn't know that one.
Oh. Why'd the blonde stand in front of the mirror with her eyes closed?
Why?
Because she wanted to find out what she looked like when she's asleep.
Yeah, that's another one.
How do you keep a blonde busy for several hours? You ask her to count the number of stairs in an escalator.
Oh, God. Holy shit. That's another one I never.
A blonde shot an arrow in the air. She missed.
I missed that one.
Oh, that's good.
Why did a blonde buy an elephant instead of a new car? Because an elephant has a bigger trunk. Okay. Let's see.
Take your time. Take your time.
So two blondes are driving, and one thought her blinker might be broken, so she asked her blonde friend to check. So the blonde friend stuck her head out the door and said, "Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no." Yeah, that went over my head too. So two blondes are driving to Disneyland, and so the directional side said Disneyland left. So they started crying and went home.
No.
Oh, God. That's about as horrible as you can get to
How do you keep a blonde at home? You build a circular driveway. Here's one for I'm sorry, what was her name who did the nursing jokes?
Endora.
That would be
Endora,
me.
yeah, from Bewitched. Right,
Docky.
Endora. Yeah, so a blonde walks into a hospital and claims that everywhere she touches hurts. So the nurse tells her, "Ma'am, you have a broken finger." Okay. Three blondes walk into a building. You'd think at least one of them would have seen it.
Jesus Christ, girl, you got a great delivery. That's beautiful. Oh, God.
It's my namesake.
Oh,
Why couldn't the blonde write the number 11?
how come?
Because she couldn't figure out which number came first. The one or the one. So, a blind man walks into a bar. He sits down and says, "Who wants to hear some blonde jokes?" So the waitress says, "I'm blonde." The co-worker says she's blonde too. And the lady sitting next to you is blonde as well. "Are you sure you want to tell them?" They asked the blonde guy. The blind guy. The blind guy says, "No, I guess not. I don't want to have to explain it 3 times. I should have marked these.
They was bodybuilders too, weren't they?
Could be.
They were bodybuilders.
Oh shit! I'm already out of time.
Keep going.
Yeah, we ain't got no time limit.
Oh, okay. Let me find some of these, Dim. So, did you hear about the near tragedy at the mall?
Ooh, no.
Yeah. There was a power outage, and 8 blondes were stuck on the escalators for more than 4 hours.
Wow.
Why was the blonde staring at the bottle of orange juice?
How come?
Because it said concentrate.
I heard every blonde joke in the world. So, God, Lord.
2 blondes living in Louisiana were sitting on a bench, and one blonde says to the other, "Which do you think is farther away, Florida or the moon?" Well, the other blonde says, "Well, you can't see Florida." Let's see, a little bit of non-blonde jokes. I saw a dildo for sale described as 9 inches long and realistic. So I thought, I wonder which one is it? 9 inches or realistic? A guy I knew went to a meeting of the premature ejaculator support group. Turns out the meeting is tomorrow. Because he went there a little prematurely. What's the difference between love and herpes? Love doesn't last forever. Let's see. So two blondes fell down a hole. One of them said, "Oh, it's dark in here, isn't it?" And the other one said, "Oh, I don't know. I can't see."
Yeah.
I like Randy's laughing. It's encouraging, even though I know this.
That's great.
Yeah, it's funny.
I was at the post office, and I see a blonde woman shouting into an envelope. And I asked her, "What are you doing?" And she says, "Well, I'm sending a voicemail."
Good Lord. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love blondes. So, okay, let's see. Okay, so a blonde, a redhead, and a brunette were all lost in the desert, right? So they found the lamp and rubbed it. And then a genie popped out, woo, and granted them each of them one wish. The redhead wished to be back home. So poof, and back she was, just like SL. The brunette wished to be at home with her family. Poof, back home she was with her family. So the blonde's turn time, and she says, "Aw, I wish my friends were here." Okay, one more and I'll wrap it. There was a blonde, a redhead, and a brunette. They were all trapped on an island, and the nearest shore was like 50 miles away. So the redhead swam, trying to make it to the other shore. So she swam 15 miles, drowned, and died. The brunette swam 24 miles, then drowned and died. The blonde swam 25 miles, halfway to 50, got tired, so she decided to swim back. And on that note, I think I'll call it quits for that.
You know, that was
Thank
awesome.
you for your supportive laugh.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody, big hand for the Wild One, the Wild Gang.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hey,
Thank you all.
awesome.
That was amazing.
Hey.
Don't
Awesome.
do
Yeah.
that. Thank you. You don't have to.
All right,
Good job.
everybody. That was a great night. We had a good one. We fulfilled the hour and we laughed most of the time.
Yeah, we
So I
love
want to
laugh.
thank
Laughing
everybody
is so
for coming,
nice.
and I hope y'all come next week.